And I do believe... How you guys... Angeles. Daylight time, not standard time. And it is Monday, the 12th of August, AD 2024. And we're going to have a fun, loosey-goosey, The Hake Report show, guys. You can call in 1-888-775-3773. Some of you guys already calling in on hold. We will get to you. What will we cover today? I did want to talk about Susan Wojcicki. Wojcicki, whatever. She died, 56 years old. Man, I had talked about her and her family. She's the YouTube woman, CEO woman. Not a Christian, I don't think, but she died at 56. It's crazy. Just an interesting thing. I saw this Tim Walz guy, a little report on this Tim Walz guy. He, one of his former students, you know how you have your favorite teachers and some of them turn out to be liberal? Or does that happen to you? Or they're obviously liberal, but they're still pretty good teachers? Tim Walz sounded like he was a pretty fun teacher, maybe. But he was kind of a mama. When I say kind of a mama, he was really a mama. He had like this gay student that came out, quote unquote, to him, and he wanted to start a gay straight alliance. What a sicko, huh? Talk about a mama. I've known some mama teachers in my lifetime, and they are overboard. What a mess. Anyway, some of you guys seen some interesting comments over the weekend, listened to it on American Anchor Baby, and caught it on my show last week about this, the mess going on in the UK, right? The riots and the counter riots, counter protests, the anti-racism protests, and the racist protests, and the Muslims and blacks and others, migrants, if you will, or anchor babies, doing wrong to the people, and the people doing wrong in response. It's a big mess. People are calling Hake a pacifist, and people are mocking the forgiveness and love stuff, indicating they don't know what love and forgiveness actually is, in my opinion. But, so all that, and your calls, guys, and your super chats. But anyway, everybody, let's just get right on with the show!
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
Hey, guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
So, how you guys doing? I am fine, thank you, Anchor Baby. I'm wearing a nice Get a Job t-shirt. You guys remember Get a Job? Let me paste that thing, paste some last little bit into my doc here. Shout out to Get a Job, youtube.com/@getajob. Let me see if that works. youtube.com/@getajob. Paste it in here. Boom. See if it works. Or is it @getajob1? Yes, indeed, it works. Boom. Yeah, go get your stuff. teespring.com/stores/getajob. That's where I got this one. And Jesse Lee Peterson, Savage Moments. He makes the compilations. And so do it. Okay, let me send this to you guys over there for the podcast. Catch the JLP podcast, guys. Make sure you do catch it. You can catch it. And it's cool. Ready to go. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And so, by the way, a quick tip for people in the chat, don't be trolled by the trolls. You're getting trolled by the trolls, and that's counterproductive. Don't argue with them. You're arguing with the devil inside of your head and outside of you. You know what I mean? JLP says it wisely, rightly. He's right about it, okay? I want to get to a call here, guys. Alex, I believe, in California is on the line. Alex, are you there?
Hakey Bear.
Hey, good to hear from you, man.
Yeah, am I coming in clearly?
Loud and clear. Appreciate it.
Okay. Yeah, just want a real brief recap on last week. I think I pretty much like left a bag of dog poo, flaming dog poo on your doorstep kind of deal.
But it was, but Friday, it's fun. We like that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But like, then when it got to about Friday, I think everything kind of cooled off. And I noticed you even you made it a highlight or whatever. Well, I appreciate that.
Nice. Yeah, it was a great call.
Yeah. So the other person that called that I thought was interesting was CJ. And if I had to put like you, me, CJ, and Mark on a scale, I would say you would be at the bottom as like the most peaceful. I would be a little bit after you because I got a little annoyed by the situation hearing about it, but I didn't do anything.
Right.
CJ would be the type that would go out and protest.
Wait, I think that you might be thinking of Aaron C.
Of Aaron C, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. And
then Mark would be like the crazy one who goes and gets himself in some sort of trouble.
Yeah.
Does that sound accurate?
That sounds like it might be accurate. Mark is definitely the hothead who doesn't back down from a fight, and he will almost invite a fight. His personality will attract a fight to himself, possibly.
Right. He's like the dude on top of the hill with the flamethrower, just screaming, making a bunch of noise.
Yeah.
Gets his whole squad killed. But I love Mark. I'm not even against Mark. I'm on Mark's side. I hope he doesn't. I don't think he called me a coward. I think he got the idea that I was like backing down or something. The only part that I was backing down was the term anger.
Right.
That's what I wanted to talk more about today.
Cool.
I think I overheard, correct me if I'm wrong, you said that there's no degrees of anger.
No degrees of evil.
Evil.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like just to explain that, a little bit of evil, let's say you hate and look down on the PDF. Your hating and looking down on the PDF is not better than the PDF doing the PDF stuff.
That makes sense.
It's all hell.
Okay, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Would you agree that there are degrees of anger? I
don't know. Explain what you mean.
Okay, so like my call, for instance, I said I was, I got angry and I said I was moody.
Okay.
In my mind, that means like I missed a putt, like annoyance, not like raging, wanting to fight someone.
Right.
So to me, like coming from a former rageaholic, I look at anger as like a dial, not really a switch or a button that goes on and off. It's, something that goes from 1 to 11.
Oh, okay.
And I would say like I need to be more aware of using that word because it gets taken. It goes from 1 to 100 in other people's imagination. True.
Yeah. Like, but I still say even anger is not about degrees either, because you can use the word anger to be like Jesus looked around at the Pharisees in anger, and he was grieved at their hardness of heart. I don't believe that Jesus was had evil in him in his anger there, quote unquote anger.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, and so I don't think that he was being petty, because most of the time anger is petty. It's self-righteous. That's what. That's not really a degree. That's just a completely different quality. You're just using the same word to describe two completely different spirits.
Okay. Yeah, because in my imagination and just the way I've had to deal with anger, not letting it go to 11, keep it at 2 or 3, or try to keep it at 0 if you can, but
it's better for your life to keep it at a low, but it's it's better for your practical life to keep it at a low, but I think it's only really good for your spirit to drop it completely. I think, because think about being annoyed. Yeah, it's good that you don't lash out, but you want to get past that, even being annoyed.
All right, that's what I was saying. I equate it to like missing a putt. You know, it's like, dang it, and
right.
then you move on.
Yeah.
That's just kind of where I just wanted to clear it up. I
It's
don't
something
have to clear things up for people, but
yeah, exactly. It's something for you to know for yourself. It can be instructive to the rest of us, and also the feedback that you get may help you see yourself. So it's fun to talk about. It's good to talk about it for sure.
Yeah, I don't have any regrets with the call. I just hope that by next year, when we're all in the Democratic internment camps and they're cutting our heads off, I hope that episode doesn't get us flagged for saying the word crusader. So I apologize in advance for that. Oh,
okay, cool. Yeah. I already asked Dylan Burns to be nice to me in the when I'm in the gulag. He said he'd give me extra gruel, but he didn't promise anything for Mark. He was like, no, I'm gonna leave Mark alone. He's going to leave Mark to suffer, and I don't like that. I feel like kissing up to Destiny right now, because Destiny is out there wilding, or was, after Trump tried to kill Trump, or that guy did. But I don't think any amount of kissing up to these guys is going to do anything either. But it's best to be wise, it's best to be wise with your words, especially on the internet.
Right. And I'm definitely realizing that after that call.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you go. There's one tiny little thing. I almost had to change my pants this morning listening to Jesse when he asked that guy if his girlfriend was fat.
Yeah. It was a great question.
Who asked that?
Jesse's so real. It's so refreshing.
That's a savage moment for sure.
Indeed.
All right, you have a good one, Hake.
You as well, Alex. Take care out there. Bye. Hakey Bear is better than Hakey Poo. Am I right? A call also from Jimmy in Tennessee. Jimmy in Tennessee, are you there? Hey.
Yes, sir.
You're coming in rough, like you sound like you're driving a truck and you're on speakerphone and you have it on the passenger seat, the phone on the passenger seat. Can you come to regular phone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Just so you come through clearly.
Can you hear me better?
So, yeah, that's sounding a lot better, I think. Are you there?
Okay.
Nice. Thanks,
What
man.
y'all think? So can you hear me?
I can hear you okay.
Okay. Well, I just had a question. You know how the government's talking about they're not going to tax tips. I work construction. We got to work 50, 60 plus hours a week.
Yeah.
Do you think the government would ever do anything about overtime, taxing overtime? Because the more you work, the more they take. If you don't work, the more, the more handouts you get. It just seems like the working man just can't get ahead.
Right. I've heard this complaint before from people who do a lot of overtime and stuff. And after a while, it becomes not even worth it. Like you're getting charged more than you're even getting paid for those extra hours. I would think that Trump would step in to like deal with that type of a situation. It depends also on your state taxes. I don't know how bad or good Tennessee is with if they have income tax and stuff like that. But that would be
no state tax in Tennessee.
Oh, nice. Based. I would think that Trump might eventually get to something like that. But right now I haven't heard anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this election, this scares me, man. I believe they hate Trump so bad that I just believe, I pray that I'm wrong, but I think they hate Trump so bad that the people that run the country, the rich people, the lobbyists, I think it's going to be really hard for Trump to get in. I just hope.
I agree. Yep. Well, don't let your heart be troubled though about it. Because you're a working man, you're being responsible, and that's the best that you can do. to protect yourself, whatever may come.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be great if Trump got in for everybody else, but and it would probably be better for your life too, personally.
Oh yes.
But don't let this thing dominate your life or mind.
Yeah, it's troubling.
Yeah.
The beliefs they have with transgenders and all that woke stuff.
Yeah.
I don't stand for none of that. And here in Tennessee, you don't see much of that. And it's just, I guess you hear them talking about turning the country into San Francisco, and that's a scary thought.
It is, and it's what's already kind of coming. It's already happening. Taylor Swift is from Tennessee, and Taylor Swift thinks that that's Tennessee values. San Francisco is Tennessee values. So it's really bad.
Well, look, they're all brainwashed. They all follow the money.
Yep. They follow the hype too.
And I was just curious to know about the overtime, because you don't ever hear nobody talk about it. And the construction worker, it's rough out here, and
right. And it's not getting cheaper.
I mean, after 55 hours a week, it's not even worth working, because they're taking over $300 a day in taxes. You're like, what's the purpose of even coming out?
Right. And you know what? 55 hours is nothing. That's like, I mean, I know that it's a lot for somebody who's doing manual labor, but it's very easy to work 60, 70. You hear about men working 60, 70, 80 hours a week. And so it's quite common. And so you would think that men would realize that this tax stuff is counterproductive, but a lot of them don't.
But like the single man, see, I'm head of household.
Yeah.
And I fall single. I don't have no kids. I don't have no dependents.
Okay.
So I pay in like $6,000-7,000 in taxes, and I get back $30.
Wow.
And then my neighbor across my neighbor. Well, I don't. They probably ain't listening. Across the road, they keep their kids 4 days a month, and they get back $10,000-12,000.
Wow. Like, what? That's wild, man.
But income tax fraud is one of the biggest things the government really needs to attack, because you have people that don't even work, don't even keep their children, and they work just enough to qualify for the earned income credit, and they get back over $10,000. I mean, it just makes me sick.
Yeah. No, the taxing situation needs an overhaul in general, I feel like. Because what good is the government doing with that money? Nothing. Nothing, really. It's all, even when they talk about, infrastructure, it's not like they're spending it responsibly for the most part. Like maybe in some sectors you'll find like one good government employee who cares and wants to do like the best, make the money last and be responsible with it. But no, it's all about staying paid and pushing their evil agenda against the people.
The majority of them go buy a vehicle, $6,000-7,000, get the vehicle repoed in 6 months. Well, they paid their deposit to get them a place to rent. They pay a few $1,000s, and then they're squatters for the rest of the year.
Wow. Yeah,
I mean, that's how it works.
All of these different perks and cuts and different things, they create artificial and perverse motivations. They give you they introduce all kinds of temptations that you wouldn't otherwise sanely do. It's a mess.
Yeah, it's a mess, but I want to listen to the show, and I appreciate the feedback.
Yeah, thank you for the call. Jimmy, call me again sometime. Feel free.
Thanks, sir.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. What a mess. Shout out to the taxpayers. I'm a taxpayer. I didn't say I'm not taxpayer. Wow. So, I'm live on Rumble, guys. I am live on multiple platforms. Let me double check for any super chats that have come in. Shout out to Popcorn's Thump Keg, who talked about me getting into my imagination about Obama saying, if I had a son, he would look like Trayvon. Why would he say that? To push the race agenda, to pretend like, oh, it had something to do with race. Oh no, Hake, you're just in your head, and you're accusing other people of being in their head. Am I in my head about that? Let's see, did Obama push the race agenda? Yes. The fake racism accusation. Oh, I had to walk through these department stores and get followed. Any acknowledgement that all too many blacks are stealing? Prep Ham Paul with the Rumble rant. I have a t-shirt idea for you, Hake. Keep life pithy. Thumbs up emoji. Indeed, a man is pithy for the most part. Quiet. Doesn't have to say much, and yet says so much in sometimes not even saying anything. We don't have an income tax anywhere in the South, Hake says. Something flinging monkey. 45. Wow. Earned income credit. Keep life pithy. Thank you for the Rumble rant idea, Prep Ham Paul, and thank you for buying that other Rumble rant that I missed the other day after I read your regular rant, your regular chat, and you bought a Rumble chat. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. How you guys doing over on the D-Live crew? How are you guys doing? Oh, let me start my IG, my Instagram Live. Instagram Live. Okay. Let me see if I can show you guys, before I get back to calls, this story of a lovely lady. Oh, that's interesting. My whole setup is different. Is Anchor Baby here that he could fix this view for me? Because right now I don't have Studio 8 showing, and he's not right now. Okay. Joel, do you know how to make this thing show my setup? Because right now it's showing Jesse's whole setup, which is not my setup, which is odd. I'm such a boomer, Nick. It's showing Jesse's setup and not mine. I don't have Studio 8 here. Studio 8 in my lower left corner. But anyway, in the meantime, and I don't even know how to find it. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. Nice. Hey, shout out. Anchor Baby, working his magic. Hold on, taking the mic. Okay, so let me show you guys to this. This is important. Rest in peace, Susan Wojcicki. Complicated business. Hang on. Boom, boom. Boom. CNN Sunday reported that Susan... Oh, my bad. Oh, that's funny. Change my key. Are you going to fix that for me? Okay. Anchor Baby's going to fix this for me. Rest in peace to Susan Wojcicki. Susan Wojcicki, former YouTube CEO, tech pioneer. Tech pioneer? What do they say about her? Hold on. Complicated business. Tech pioneer. The heck? Look at this ridiculous stuff. Tech pioneer. One of Google's earliest employees, then became, something. She died after living with lung cancer for 2 years, according to her husband. She was the tender age of 56. Can you believe it? Look how far down I have to scroll in order to show this. This gal. I don't think she was a Christian. And I may be butchering her name. Former YouTube CEO dies at 56. We kind of didn't like her because it's not nice, but a lot of people criticized her harshly. May have shown even hate for her because she was censoring everybody. Or under her, there was a lot of censorship. Former YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki. whatever. Wojcicki. Don't say that, kids. A tech pioneer who was one of Google's earliest employees died living with lung cancer. Living with lung cancer. Why are you putting it that way? For 2 years, at least they didn't say battling lung cancer. It is with profound sadness I share the news of Susan Wojcicki passing. Pardon my butchering of her name. My beloved wife of 26 years. Wow, so they married at like 20. Good old days. And mother to our 5 children. Lung cancer. Left us today after 2 years living with a non-small cell lung cancer, says Dennis Troper. It's not Dennis Wojcicki? Troper said Wojcicki. Why didn't she fix her name? Susan Troper was not just my best friend and partner in life. Oh, come on, don't be talking like that. But a brilliant mind. I could believe that. A loving mother, and a dear friend to many. Her impact on our family and the world, immeasurable. Heartbroken but grateful for the time we had with her. That's wild. She died that early. She died like that's the age that Amador died. Wasn't Amador 56 or 57 or something like that? Gone too soon. Or 52? I don't know. He was in his 50s too. Please keep our family in your thoughts. No prayers as we navigate this difficult time. He didn't say no prayers. One of the most prominent women in Silicon Valley, involved in YouTube's parent company Google from its earliest days, with the 2 founders working out of her garage in California, to build a search engine. Good for her. She later became Google's 16th employee, worked for the company nearly 25 years. Google CEO Sundar Pichai. He's the one at whom Alex Jones, my competitor, said, Google is evil. Google is evil. I disavow Alex Jones for the sake of my channel, but shout out to him. He's my competitor. And he's right. Google is evil. And they said, oh, don't be evil. He posted on X, this Sundar Pichai guy, that she was core to Google's history. Incredible person, leader, tremendous impact on the world. Countless Googlers better for knowing her. I am one of them. We will miss her dearly. Stepping back from her leadership to focus on her family a couple years ago for health and personal projects. That was pretty recently. Oh, no, she stepped down last year. So rest in peace, young woman, relatively speaking, young woman. 5 kids. That's not too shabby. I don't agree with all that working stuff, all that working woman stuff. But that's the world that people are born into nowadays. She too was in that world, that evil world. Whoa, yikes. What a shame, huh? We loved her. Okay, let me get back to some calls, guys. David in Ocala, Florida is on the line here. David, how you doing, man? Thanks for holding.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sorry, I got to my thought.
Nice.
Yeah, what is your new nickname? Are you Pooh Bear or something, man? Or what's your what did he call you?
He called me Hake Bear. Hake Bear. Because I'm such a lovable guy. Sometimes.
Yeah, you're a cool guy.
From a distance.
Yeah, I always liked Tigger better. I didn't like Pooh Bear that much.
Me too. I like Tigger. He was more energetic and fit. He's not fat.
Right.
Winnie the Pooh was, but he's the star. Winnie the Pooh is the star.
Piglet. Tigger and Piglet were the star to me, man. I don't like Pooh Bear too much. But, hey, I forgot. Alex had called last week. Didn't he call today, Alex from California?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, and he was talking, I believe it was him. I looked back to make sure anyway. He was talking about the girls getting killed, stabbed over there in England or whatever it was. Do you remember that combo? He asked you about that?
I definitely remember that.
Okay. Well, I want to tell him the reason why he feels that way, the reason why he gets upset about that is because he's a man, and that's what men do, okay? They protect women and children, okay? They go to war. Okay, they go to war. You know, they kill Nazis. You know what I'm saying? And that's what men do.
You're such a boomer Gen Xer. That's funny.
Yeah. Well, they also here. I'll throw this to Steve. You can catch this. They eat beef jerky and they crap with the door open. So I'm just joking. Where'd that come from?
I don't know where that's from. This is It's from what?
Step Brothers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I never saw that. Is that a movie?
Oh yeah, you got to see that movie, man.
An older one, huh?
One of the best movies of all time. Doesn't get any better than Step Brothers.
But
you need to laugh.
You're the one who's kind of like for stepping out in anger, right? And like fighting.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
Fighting evil with anger. But
well,
don't you see the folly in that? If you fight with evil with anger, you're fighting evil with blindness and self-righteousness. It's not godly.
Well, you had a point. You had a point until the gays took over, okay? Because, see, they really just wanted to be acknowledged, okay? And now look at it. You got drag queen story hour for first graders.
Right, but look at all the... Let's see.
They're putting tampons in fourth grade boys' bathrooms, okay? And the reason why this has all gone down is because people have sat back and let it happen. That's my philosophy. Okay, so how much longer?
Right. But I know, but hold on. I wasn't the one opposing. I wasn't the one who made that happen, and JLP wasn't the one who made that happen. You're acting like the rest of the world has been of our mindset. The rest of the world is not angry, and the rest of the world is angry. Anger will make you either be a coward, being too soft, or it will make you hot-headed, doing too much. And let me give you an example of doing too much with regard to the drag queen stuff. There was a caller of mine who got doxxed after he showed up to oppose and protest a drag queen story hour at a local library.
Okay.
And now he's in trouble. And nothing has slowed down even remotely as a result of the protests against the drag queen stuff.
Because nobody's taking his back, man. Everybody's sitting around letting a few people try to stand up.
Exactly,
and
that's what I'm saying is like for one, he did it in the wrong way, because that's not going to change anybody's mind. And two, the people are already brainwashed to support that stuff. So let the people suffer. And you protect yourself.
Well, you're right. There's more evil people right now than ever before. Okay, that's what's happened.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, that's why this is all getting promoted, and this is like order out of chaos. It's just like the caller with the taxes and everything like that. They just want to throw everything upside down.
Right.
And it's going on all around the world. I mean, this isn't just in America. I mean, they're doing this. They're bringing in all these migrants everywhere, and to destroy the world and finally bringing this new world order that they've been talking about for God knows how long.
Yeah, and it's been a long time coming. They played the long game. Some of them got in trouble playing the long game, but a lot of them dressed up in suits and were smart about it. And I think that we need to be smart about it too and play the long game. You know how the Asians, they hardly get in trouble with the law? They follow and obey, and sometimes they do get beat up. But sometimes the really smart and rich ones, they live kind of above it all, and meanwhile they just quietly are taking over. We should be like that, and we should be friendly with people as much as we can, so that they will work with us and not rat us out and put us in gulags.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I got this. I wanted to bring this up, and I don't want to stay on it too long.
Okay.
Jaime said something about the mark of the beast being in your mind, in your hand.
Yeah.
I've heard that before. The problem with that is that it says it's a mark on the right hand or the forehead, and there's an angel flies through the heavens and warns the people not to take the mark. that they're going to get the wrath of God. Okay, is what it says, and it also says the smoke of their torment ascends up forever and ever, and they have no rest day or night. And these people the people that don't take the mark get beheaded. So this is definitely an event. It's not a mind thing. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to, state my case on that. So,
okay.
That, that's what the Bible says. That's what the Word of God says. So I just wanted, but hey.
But you're reading into it.
Huh?
But you're reading into it.
Yeah, I'm reading what the Bible says.
You're reading what it says and putting meaning there that may not mean what you think it means.
Well, because I read it as literal. I don't read it as an allegory or whatever they call it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and that may not be how the writer meant for it to be read.
Well, that's a good way to sidestep it, though. Okay, you get what I'm saying? That's a good way to not, it's like.
Is that true though? Is it true that you could be reading it the way that people didn't mean it to be read?
No, I don't believe so at all, because I don't. Why would it say, in the smoke of their torment ascends up forever and ever, and they have no rest day or night? Whoever takes the mark of the beast or worships the beast, his image, or the number of his name. Okay, so anyway, but hey, you brought up the moon landing. Yeah. So we can get off the religion thing.
Okay.
I believe that it could be fake, man. I really do. I really do. I think it could be. I mean, if you look at it, it looks pretty suspicious.
But that's because you've never looked at a moon landing before, so you don't know what it's supposed to look like. And so it just looks, what's that word? When something is, it looks surreal, right? It looks sort of surreal, uncanny. Yeah, thank you, Nick. It looks surreal because you've never seen it before. It's kind of like seeing a shooting, if you've never seen a shooting before. Or, seeing Trump's ear after it's been healed and sutured together. People think, oh, his ear wasn't hit at all. Look, his ear is just perfectly normal.
Well, then why? I know that some people might not do this, but they followed some of these astronauts around, and they confronted them. I seen a video of a guy confronting this guy. It was supposedly, I don't know which astronaut it was, but he says, listen, put your hand on this Bible and swear to Almighty God that you actually landed on the moon, and the guy wouldn't do it.
Because he's an atheist or something.
Well, I don't know about that, but it just looks fishy, man. I mean, think about it, dude. I mean, it just don't look right, okay? They never went back again, okay?
No, they went multiple times.
One time.
No, I think they went multiple times, didn't they, or wrong?
Well, yeah, I guess I might be wrong about that. But
I'm not sure how many times they actually stepped foot on the moon. I don't know.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
I know that they went up there multiple times, and then it's like, this is too expensive.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's what I heard.
That is too expensive?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, one other thing. I saw this weekend. I'll let you go. There's a video about a shooting outside of a Memphis convenience store, okay? And you can find it, I'll bet, if you just type in the shooting outside a Memphis gas station. I think that's how it's titled.
Okay.
And these guys have their Camaro backed up near the front door. They come walking out, and evidently there's some people waiting for them, in a car a ways away, and they realize that that's happening, and so they duck down behind this Camaro, and the enemy against them shoots them with a machine gun.
Whoa.
Man. Okay. Oh, yeah.
And hit them?
We're talking, huh?
And actually hit them or missed?
No, but as soon as they stop shooting, the other two dudes hop up with their pistols and just unload, like these pistols probably held 12 rounds each.
Yeah.
And they just unload 24 shots at them. I mean, there's bullet casings flying everywhere. And the people that are like around the gas station and everything, they act like that's just a normal day.
That's interesting.
So,
interesting, man.
So,
that's people are getting used to this crime stuff.
Yeah, they do. They do. I mean, it's desensitized them. One other thing, Hake, before I go, this is real quick. People are always talking about Jesus coming back. You know what I'm saying? Jesus is coming back, right?
Yeah.
You hear that? Okay.
Yes,
Well,
I heard it.
Jesus comes back the minute you take your last breath, people. I just want y'all to know that. I want you to think about what I'm telling you, okay?
Oh, so Jesus comes back for you when you take your last breath, you're saying?
Yes, that's right.
Where do you get that?
It's just the truth.
But
once you die, you either go one or two places.
But where do you get it?
What I'm saying?
Right, you go one or two places, but that's when Jesus comes back for you?
Well, in a sense, okay, because it says that first comes death, then the judgment.
Right.
So there you go. So it's not just, hey, waiting for him to come back and reign on earth and, the second coming and all that kind of stuff. It's, are you ready to go right this minute?
Oh, okay. I mean,
if something was to happen to you, that's what I'm trying to get through to. Okay.
It is important to test yourself, It's important to know if you are really, to examine yourself, to pay attention to yourself and your life, rather than, condemning all this evil all around you. What good is that doing anybody? We condemn the PDFs, or we condemn the drag queen, or we condemn the liberals, and meanwhile you're just an evil conservative, It's not good.
So we all got problems.
Exactly.
We all got problems, and that's why Jesus came, to make a way for us to be free from, certain things that affect us, or all that affects us. If you want to go all the way deep,
right?
Whatever. Hey, listen, I want you to know something. Hey, you're a great guy, and it's a great thing that you're doing, having these kind of shows so people can call in and talk about this stuff. You got no idea what this might do to somebody's life and change in their life. You know what I'm saying? To hear some of the things that are on your show, okay?
Right on, man. Appreciate it, David. It's good to hear from you.
Hey, you have a great day. Everybody out there, have a great day.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So let me, before I get back to calls, hang tight, callers. I want to show you guys this Tim Walz character, a little feature here. Tim Walz was my teacher, says this person on this Politico magazine story. My teacher 20 years ago, Politico, far-left extremist Politico. It's sometimes hit and miss. A former student of the new vice presidential candidate opens up. And here's this Tim Walz guy. It's Kamala's VP pick. How embarrassing, in my opinion. Let's see. This guy, look at him. All aggressive and imitation manly. I call it imitation manly because I can safely assume this is no man, because he's a Democrat. How can you be a Democrat and a man? Especially white. I could understand blacks, falling for the thing and they become men, but they're still like Democrats and then they repent from being a Democrat. But this is a white, Midwestern, liberal male. It's an article by Catherine Kim. And she did this, I don't know if it's like a written, apparently it's written. It's written down here anyway. Interview with this former student. Most of the nation might have just learned the existence of Tim Walz. But Sam Hurd has known the vice presidential candidate for nearly 2 decades. And Sam Hurd is, come on, give me a break. Come on over here, guys. There we go. That's not right either. Tim Walz was Samuel Hurd's junior year geography teacher at Mankato West High School, 2005-2006. So this is like a young Zoomer or young millennial guy. I guess it could be a millennial. Yeah, if he's 35, that's a millennial. Something like that. Walz has made his life as a teacher a selling point in his political career, including the jockeying ahead of being picked to be Kamala Harris's running mate. Imagine competing to be her running mate. Embarrassing. To get a sense of what he was really like as a teacher, they reached out to Hurd, who is now 35 years old and himself a middle school teacher. Middle school. Whoever came up with that term, middle school. For me, it was elementary school and then junior high school. There was no middle school, at least in Southern California where I went to school. Somebody's all, I hung out with some like cousins whom I didn't really know. They're like, are you in middle school? I'm like, no. But I was in 6th grade at the time, so that probably would, by their definition, be middle school. But no, 6th grade is still elementary. Junior high is 7th and 8th grade. High school is 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th for my world, and I'm going to impose that on the rest of you. In an interview, Hurd recalled Walz didn't really overload students with homework. Oh, so he was easy. He was an easy teacher. The easier he is on you, the easier it is on himself. But I shout that out. I support it. I support it. But he challenged them in other ways, forcing them to wrestle with issues like the Cambodian genocide. Whoever knows about that. No, I'm okay with that. That's good. I mean, he should know. He should have his students know about it. I don't know what's to wrestle about it. And how the French government treated its Muslim citizens. Sounds kind of liberal. As Walz was never sitting, he was always circling the room. That's good for you. That's how you stay healthy. And he isn't energetic. He does come off as somewhat energetic. Wearing a tie, sweating profusely, just working his off as a teacher. Sorry, kids, don't read that, is how Hurd remembered him. Left such an impression that the former student now lives in Baltimore. Made the drive up to Philly Tuesday. Wouldn't it be down to Philly? Would it be up to Philly or down to Philly? What's the geography? Let's see. Philly. No, Baltimore. This is important to me. Baltimore to Philly. Oh, it is up. Whoa, okay. Hey. Think about that. Politico knows what it's talking about. Who knew that Baltimore was... Oh, Maryland. I always pictured Maryland being like one of the highest areas, but it's in Baltimore. Wow. Look at that. You see that? Baltimore, Maryland. You go east, northeast to Philadelphia. Not far from Jersey. Huh. Didn't know. To see the very first Harris Walz rally. How embarrassing. He's all fanboying. Ooh, my teacher's a vice president candidate. He never made it inside the packed venue. He didn't even get in. He was waiting in line. Word spread he was a former Walz student. He was challenged by Pennsylvanians who'd been rooting for Josh Shapiro to be Harris's vice president choice instead. He said, you see that charisma? As a teacher 20 years ago, that's who he was. So then he's like passionate, service-oriented. Okay, sounds like a liberal. What's the first word that comes to your mind when you look back on Tim Walz as a teacher? Passionate, service-oriented, also known as liberal. Was he known as a tough grader? I only had him for a year. It was his last year running for Congress. Oh, look at this. He was not really a homework guy. That's good. Long as you could reasonably show up, this is grade inflation, guys, participate in discussions, and just have thoughts you could articulate. He wasn't really a lecturer. He valued the thoughts and experiences of kids. They're not kids, they're high schoolers. He was known for treating kids quite a bit like adults in that way, because they are young adults, basically. You're over 13, you're an adult. You're over 12, you're an adult, basically. Blah, 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 blah. There was something that's funny. He was mostly a moderator. He was interested in getting the kids to talk to each other. That's nice. He had flags and photos, picture of this one thing that's over in China or Thailand or something, Cambodia, Angkor Wat, which is a crazy, cool palace thing in Cambodia. There was something funny I wanted to show you here. He seems to have a lot of dad jokes. You remember jokes that he had? He had energy, he was always wearing a tie, but was sweating like a dog. Over here, they say He was a picture of humble masculine service energy in our school. This guy thinks that it's masculine. And I can understand that because he looks sort of like a man, and he was energetic in that one clip that I showed to you guys when he's bashing his fellow educated politician, J.D. Vance. Oh, like most Midwesterners I know, J.D. Vance went to Berkeley, and he got funding from Silicon Valley or something like that. Come on! Something like that. There was a student who, here it is, I want to say in 2002 or 2003, came out. What is that? Don't ask kids. Came out to Walz. And that was really the only adult or maybe teacher that they, quote unquote, had come out to before as gay. And Walz was pretty determined to, if that student was up for it, start a gay-straight alliance at our school. Walz, I think it wasn't lost on him, the idea of him being called a football coach and military guy, that's just what you do for kids. Enable and encourage them in their darkness. Mama spirit, encourage the evil in the kid, thinking that you're accepting the kid. What a sucker, huh? What an evil person, thinking that he's doing good. So that's sick Walz for you. What a mess. You know who else is a teacher? What's her name? She tried to run for president. She's like, hey, honey, you want a beer? You want a beer? Elizabeth Warren. She seems like she'd be a cool teacher, too. My male teachers were really just concerned with coaching sports, says Ivana. I had male teachers, and they were the best teachers. Some of them. Some of them were liberals. And even them, they were kind of interesting. And they were good sports coaches, too. There was a baseball coach who taught me that one line that I always recite. In wars, Hake is jealous. In wars, there is always a loser. There is not always a winner. There is always a loser, and there is not always a winner. So all you guys wanting to go to war over those little girls getting themselves, well, they didn't get themselves stabbed. That's not fair. But those little girls getting stabbed, it's a horrible outcome, this war stuff, that you don't want to get into. You want to avoid that much as you can. You can call that pacifism. But Trump, let's make a deal. We have to have peace. You want to have a functioning society, you have to have peace. And you have to have some strength, too, to put the clamp down on that stabbing stuff and the R-wording stuff and the kicking in the face and the riots. You have to put a clamp down on all that. Both the so-called right-wing protesters and rioters and of course, obviously, the communists and Muslims and people, anti-racists. You have to put a clamp down on that stuff. You have to put a clamp down on all that crime and stealing and stuff, supposedly non-violent crimes. It takes a man, and it takes the local men to be manly, but in a right way. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? So that's a good lesson, right? In war, there's always a loser and not always a winner. So shout out to that baseball coach who taught that lesson. I won't dox him. I may have doxed him in the past. I don't even remember his first name. I won't say what color hair he had. I won't say his last name, even though it was a really common last name. He was white. At least, might have been Irish. Another coach who was a great English teacher and also computers teacher. Great teacher, great coach, solid guy, a man you respected and feared. You also feared him. Are you going to be praying to? You are going to be praying to Allah soon. Hake, says FEV, Flat Earth Victory, who I'm giving him special treatment by not banning him because he's so slanderous sometimes. He gets on his kicks, but he's so relentless and he loves us. He just can't help himself but be a slanderer sometimes. So Hake thinks he can decide if he is in war or not. LOL, what a little baby. Yeah, I know, but there's ways that you conduct yourself in war that make it, yeah, granted, I get you. The war is already upon us in a sense, but to lash out, Dylan Roof wanted to start a race war. Little did he know it was already happening, and he just made it worse for the whites and himself. And he killed some innocent people. That's a murder. That's evil. And same thing with allegedly what went down with those riots. I don't know if they killed anybody, but they tried to set fire to a hotel. Somebody did. I don't know if it was communists or whites. Some lame... I did know one baseball coach who was kind of lame. But even I liked him too. Like I was able to play games in his class. He was an English teacher. And my other male coach teacher said, "Oh, you have him? I'm sorry." Yeah, there were some lame males too. But Tim Walz, he would be, sort of definitely a mama. And that woman too, you want a beer? Elizabeth Warren. I like beer. People are so weak nowadays. Don't ban people just because you're soft, Hake, says Avarency. No, it's not about softness. No. Flat Earth Victory. We ban people for slander, being vulgar, gossip, vulgar, slander, messiness, nastiness. And we're very lenient. And hey, I'll ban him if I want to. Her husband spanked her. Oh, don't say that. Whole lot of mess going on, right? Galahad, we're at the top of the hour. Galahad in Guatemala is on the line here. Galahad, thanks for calling and holding. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing well. God bless you, bro.
Thank you.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, how are you okay with blacks being Democrats, but whites are not men if they are Democrats? Could you explain that to me?
Say it again.
You said that whites that are Democrats are not men, but blacks you're okay with.
They're not men either, but you understand it more, right? Because
No, that's why I'm asking.
Oh, okay. I understand it because blacks have been brought up in a crowd of people who don't think for themselves. Whereas whites, they're not brought up in that crowd so much. Yeah, I mean, every now and then there's a male Democrat who's white, like a normal white, but it's not like he's raised in that world necessarily and brainwashed in that world. Blacks, you understand it because they're brainwashed. They're also not men either, but sometimes they may become a man and they're just sort of left over and going to turn Republican soon or turn non-Democrat soon. So I'm not, does that make sense to you or no?
I'm asking you, does that make sense to you?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Because you know that whites think for themselves more commonly. They differ with one another. They have different levels of being a liberal or not.
So you think melanin gives you special mind powers?
No.
Then what are you saying?
I'm saying that blacks have a culture of brainwashing. They tend to be suckers more. So you realize, oh, they're suckers. Their whole world is filled with lies from their parents,
right.
their teachers, and all that stuff.
Are you familiar with the Nazi Party?
I've heard of it.
You've heard of it?
Yeah.
And what color are they?
They're mostly white, I think.
And they think for themselves, or what's
I
going on
don't
there?
know. I've never met a real Nazi.
Were they brainwashed, or do you think it was like common sense?
I think many of them were brainwashed.
And the rest?
Some of them thought for themselves, maybe.
So they logically came to the conclusion that whites were special.
I don't know. I don't know this stuff. What's your point about it?
I'm just trying to figure out why you say the things you say. Do you believe in God, Hake?
Definitely.
Do you believe in Christ?
Do you?
Oh, I do, for sure.
Yeah, so you don't notice that blacks tend to be more brainwashed? Like 96% Democrat?
I would say people can be brainwashed. I wouldn't say what you said.
But you just said what I said. People can be brainwashed. And blacks
Yes, but
at
I wouldn't say that melanin has anything to do with that.
Those are your words.
Party,
I never
right?
said anything about melanin.
But you're saying that a specific color of people who have more melanin, they are more brainwashed.
No, I didn't. That's your words.
Since the Second World War was because of brainwashed white people.
I have no idea about that. There were definitely a whole lot of there are a whole lot of brainwashed white people who are like, oh, Hitler's the worst person in the world, and there's a whole lot of brainwashed people. Oh, Hitler's the best. Those are brainwashed people, yes. But what does that have to do with most blacks being brainwashed when they're voting 96% for the evil party, the openly evil party, the not even trying to be good party?
100% voting against, with the Nazi party.
Wait, what?
It was the same thing.
But you're bringing up one supposed wrong that I don't know anything about.
I'm just saying,
are you admitting that I'm right?
No, I'm saying that it doesn't have anything to do with skin color. Like
I didn't say it had anything to do.
Every day.
Wait a minute.
Having people calling you with that same type of evil, because it is only evil, and that's why I'm asking you: do you believe in Christ? And you skip that question. Are you?
I said
Christ?
yes. Listen to me. When did I ever say it had anything to do with skin color?
Whenever you call people by their skin color, you don't say people.
Nuh-uh.
You say
That's not
skin color
true.
people.
When I call them black, I'm just saying they're black and they're brainwashed. I didn't say they're brainwashed because they're black. That's your mind.
So that's what you said.
That is not what I said.
96% of black people are brainwashed.
Indeed.
In the Democratic Party.
Right. You disagree with that?
I would say that people can be brainwashed, and I wouldn't.
But answer me if you disagree with that.
I would say evil people do evil things, Hake.
That's a meaningless statement. You want to?
No,
you're
not.
basically being Joe from Phoenix.
Say evil people will try and act good while doing evil.
Yeah.
And they do it publicly, like you do every day.
Huh?
I think you're being evil every day.
How am I being evil?
By trying to propagate this stereotype, which is evil from the core.
I haven't propagated any stereotype.
People with that ideology, they have started world wars before.
What stereotype?
People like you, Hake. People that think that melanin has anything to do with the value of a man.
I never did. I never said that. You're the one who's thinking that I think that.
That's what you're saying every day, and that's what.
No, it's not what I'm saying every day.
You think they feel comfortable?
You're brainwashed, Galahad.
You're not. You know I'm not.
Yes, I do. I absolutely know that you're brainwashed.
No, I'm trying to put you on the spot because I'm tired of it. Hey, I really like you. I think you're a son of God. I think you should believe in Christ, and I think what you're doing is evil, and you're trying to mock God. Because this is a Christian platform.
You haven't named one thing. You haven't accurately described one thing that I've said.
Like this is how a white Christian acts. Do you think that is correct? I'm just asking.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. What's wrong with you?
I'm just.
You're brainwashed, man. You think that I'm saying blacks are evil because they're black? Is that what you think I'm saying?
That's what you're. continuously trying to imply.
No, it's not. You're just crazy.
You think
You're in your head, Galahad.
You think you're funny because of that, Hake. And I'm not even, I'm not bothered by you. I'm just
Yeah, you are.
bothered
You're clearly bothered by me.
I see Jesse, and he's a good person, and you're just like liching off of him and trying to mock God.
Yeah, you're a
mock
snake.
Racist, being evil, bro.
You're a snake in the grass.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
You know I'm not.
Yes,
I'm not.
I know absolutely you're a snake in the grass.
Why? Because I'm trying to point out the right way?
No, you're not pointing out the right way.
You believe in Christ, Hake.
Galahad.
Do you believe in Christ?
Galahad, you never answered my question.
Do you believe in Christ?
Galahad, I'm not going to answer your phony question. Do you agree with me? Do you agree with me that blacks are brainwashed because they vote 96% for the Democrats? Is that brainwashing?
I believe people are evil and they can be turned against each other.
And that's you.
That's what the Bible says. Do you believe in what the Bible says, Hake? Do you believe in Christ?
Why are you being so phony right now?
I'm not being phony.
Yeah, you are.
I'm trying to stay, in the right.
No, you're not.
What's right. It's no right from wrong.
Why are you misreading what I'm saying then? Why are you misreading what I'm saying when I say that blacks are brainwashed? And it's understandable for blacks to be brainwashed.
You're supposedly being an example.
You don't even want to shut up while I'm talking, Galahad.
Because you're not answering the question. Do you believe in Christ?
I already said I'm not going to answer your stupid question.
That's a stupid question?
Yes.
Why is that a stupid question?
I'm not even going to engage with that.
Why is that a stupid question, Hake?
Because you're being stupid.
You think Christ is stupid?
No, I think you're stupid.
Do you think believing in Christ is stupid?
It is if you're going to be stupid.
Why am I being stupid?
Because you're accusing me of saying something that I never said.
I'm accusing you of using the Christian platform to promote hate.
You're the one promoting hate. You're hating me right now.
I'm telling everybody to love you today, to give you extra love. I'm telling everybody that I want.
You have a fake mama's love.
Love Hake T-shirt.
But you have a fake mama's love.
No.
Yes.
Don't try and
I know your type.
What's my type, Hake?
Your type is the fake Latino Christian who's anti-racist. You're like anti-racist. And so when you hear something true said about blacks, you want to come in and accuse me of saying something that I never said.
You know what you're doing.
You're putting words in my mouth.
You think it's funny, and you think you're very clever. You think you're special.
You're putting words in my mouth.
Not.
Did you or did you not put words in my mouth?
I'm just saying what I hear.
No. Answer my question. Did you put words in my mouth?
I said exactly what you said.
No, you didn't.
Black men who are Democrats. You said white men who are Democrats are not men.
Right.
But you can understand blacks being so.
Right.
That doesn't seem evil to you?
It's evil that they're Democrats. Both of them are evil for being Democrats. But you understand the blacks more because the blacks have the whole world of brainwashing. Their parents. I'm going to put you on hold if you can't be quiet while I'm explaining. Their parents, their pastors, their media, their schools, the whole world, and it caters to them and pretends this racism stuff is real. And so they're Democrats, and you can just kind of understand that a little bit more. But for a white to be a Democrat, something is wrong. Like they were raised by a single mother or something went wrong in their life for them to be a male white Democrat.
Same human conditions may apply,
I know,
right?
Exactly.
Fatherless families, they could tend to,
and victimhood and all that stuff. So then you agree with me. Then why are you calling me evil?
I'm not agreeing with you. I'm not agreeing with the fact that you keep calling it a racial stereotype all the time.
Stereotypes? There's nothing wrong with stereotypes. God stereotyped?
God stereotyped?
Yeah.
So you don't believe in Christ then? That's not what I said.
Yes, he did.
So you don't believe in Christ?
Yes, he did. Jesus even had messages for the church, for these different churches, and these different churches had different issues. Same with different peoples. Different peoples have different issues.
No Jew or Gentile, but one in Christ.
Yeah, so you're just going to cherry pick and not deal with the reality in the Bible. The Bible dealt with reality. I'm dealing with reality, but you just want to say, "Oh, there's no difference." When in reality, it's a fact that there were different letters written to different churches. These different churches had their different issues, and some churches had these issues. They were sexually immoral. Others were infighting. Others were doing this, and others were doing that. So different people in different places and different cultures have different issues.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm being quite biblical and Christian and Christ-like. And you're being a snake in the grass accusing me like a phony Christian.
Oh, wow. No.
Yeah, you're a creep.
Romans 2, when you judge, make yourself righteous, because when you're judged back, that's what they will find. Righteous.
They're exactly.
You think you're being righteous all day, every day with this stuff, Hake? I don't think so. I'm calling you because I love you, Hake. I want to see the best in you. I want to see Christ live with you in your life, and you be, in this side
Hold on,
of heaven
let me get my snake puppet out, because you're basically Joe from Phoenix.
Take it out. I'm just saying. And you did do this publicly, so I have to call it out publicly, bro.
But you haven't called anything out. You haven't said anything that I've...
And I know what
you're doing. No, you're not, man. You're one of those phony Latino anti-racist Christians with a mama
spirit. Saying that is racist. And it's evil. You're just trying to put me down with Latino heritage? What is that?
No, I'm not putting you down with Latino heritage. I just know your type. I just know your phony type.
Aren't you embarrassed by that? You're embarrassing everybody.
Embarrassing everybody?
Yeah, bro.
I'm not your bro, cuz.
Of course you're... No, you're my friend, maybe.
No.
Jesus called his friends.
I knew you were giving... I knew that you had this creepiness to you.
Yeah, I'm not creepy.
A total snake in the grass.
I'm not the one who's single and childless.
What's that have to do with what that makes me creepy because I'm single and I don't have a kid? Wow, what an evil man. What an evil woman.
You bring out the devils out of people, Hake.
Bring out the devil out of you?
Not really, no.
Yeah, definitely.
The truth. Just saying what it is, man. You call it a spade a spade. I'm calling a spade as well.
That's racist.
Oh, yeah. Super racist. My Latino racism came out of me.
Yeah.
We're going to start World War III.
All right. I got to run, Galahad. Call me again sometime.
God bless you. I love you. Sorry about calling you out in public. Please refrain yourself from not being a true Christian. Okay? Love you, bro.
All right. Take care. Oh, man. What a mess. Let's get to Hayden in Texas is on the line here. Hayden, how you doing, man? What's up?
Doing good, Hake. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
I wanted to talk to that clown so bad. Yeah, his definition of Christianity, he just does not want you to point out the obvious. I mean, literally last week, you and I were talking about how crazy Tim Walz is, but yet he wants to say that all you talk about is just other cultures and stuff and how crazy they act.
Right.
It's the obvious. Is that all white Democrats do? They just show like absolute support for all this chaos. Every major city in our country is just blowing up. That's all, they just vote for that stuff. But yet the other cultures are the ones doing the damage, actually.
Yeah, he's in his head. He's thinking that I'm saying something that I'm not saying. And it reminds me a lot of, he's just like Joe from Phoenix.
Oh yeah, carbon copy.
Yeah, they just want to put words in your mouth and think that you're being evil for pointing out true facts, true things.
Right.
What a mess.
Literally a serpent, the serpent in the garden. And I guarantee you, he would never. You've never heard him calling and defend you whenever Joe's attacking you.
I know, huh? Well, I don't know. I don't think he might be a newcomer. He might be a newcomer.
Oh, is he a newcomer?
I don't know. Because I've only noticed him in chat recently.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he just, I guarantee he wouldn't do that for any white person. I guarantee that.
I don't know, man.
It's only, he's a Latino and he's defending the black. I mean, can you, I just can't even process that.
A lot of them, I saw this tweet that Elon Musk put out about, it was quote tweeting something, and it was talking about how all the different races.
Right.
X.com. And if you go to Elon Musk's, oh Lord, I'm not logged in. If you go to Elon Musk's tweets, you can find this one. I can't even type. What a mess.
Oh, about the UK crime?
No, it was about the different races and how they view themselves versus others. And the whites, yeah, I mean, there's like a minimal margin in terms of how they rate each other. The whites rate themselves just barely ahead of the other races, and but they pretty much think of themselves all as pretty much the same. And then and that's not necessarily a good or bad thing, I'm not sure. Anchor Baby has covered this on his show. And then the blacks, months back, I think, or weeks back, the blacks think the blacks are the best. And then they put Hispanics behind them, Asians behind them, and then whites way in the back. The Hispanics think the Hispanics are best. And the blacks behind them, the Asians behind them, and the whites in the back. Isn't that kind of interesting? When in reality, like, different people got their issues. Blacks been brainwashed with this racism stuff. Just ridiculous. And then like the Hispanics have that too, and they have like a victimhood and crime mentality to a slightly lesser extent than the blacks. And then the Asians just keep to themselves, but they all put whites in the back, and that's partly, I think, a result of the brainwashing in the culture to act like whites are racist and whites no good and whites blah blah blah, whites this, whites that. And but you notice whites are more fair-minded, and in some cases they're too fair, like they're too accommodating, and that's partly a result of the brainwashing.
Right.
Yeah.
And
whites are the least racist.
Yes, I mean, hey, this is our country.
Right.
This is our country, and like the fact that white liberals are allowing this, and I love the fact that the MAGA movement's growing so much. I really have hope that this crap's going to come to an end soon. But William hit on it pretty well last week. He said, if you have to push, Black Lives Matter, Black Voices Matter, Black Votes Matter, it really, if you have to push it that much, it really doesn't matter. I mean, you're just trying to get it out there that your voice actually matters. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
It really, they know they're insane. They know. I mean, they used to not even, them along with women, they weren't even allowed to vote in the 60s or the 50s and 60s. So I mean, they know it's all crazy talk whenever they have to wear T-shirts saying I woke up like this, Black Queen. All this, it's so sloppy and it's so disgusting.
They're trying to convince themselves. It's an insecurity thing when they're like that.
And that goes for all the other minority races too. I mean they all fall in the same lead as the black. That's where they got this whole victimhood thing from, is the blacks, because I mean all they do is just riot and just tear down streets and stuff. And the minority races realize, hey, we're not white, so maybe we can join along with the blacks and just tear down every city and say, oh, it's just reparations. That's the whole thing. That's what it's all about.
It's so evil because it's so counterproductive, Right. It's just making their own lives worse and everybody else's around them.
Yeah,
that's blindness, man.
It shows how much they hate the country. But also, I want to share this with you. Elon also posted on X. He shared this thing. How the justice system in the UK is just complete. It's so horrible right now.
Yeah.
These two white UK residents got sentenced to jail for 10 years for these two white UK residents, 10 years for posting racist posts, racist quote unquote posts on social media. And they shared, and there was another picture of an immigrant that wasn't from the UK, and he got 180 community service hours for murdering someone in the UK.
Whoa!
Can you believe that?
No, there's got to be more to the story.
No, Elon posted it. If you go on X, he posted it. That was about 3 or 4 days ago.
But
probably.
you know that they rationalized it in some way to be like, oh, he didn't actually. Well, it wasn't. You know, they always have more to the story to justify it, to rationalize it in some level.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
that's what Elon. I usually trust what Elon, because he's become more conservative than independent in the past couple of months. So I'm starting to believe more of what he says than what he used to say.
Yeah,
right?
I have the tweet that Elon Musk showed. Is there any study contradicting this? He quote tweeted this. He quote tweeted this post from posted this post from End Wokeness. Narrative: whites are the most racist and intolerant group on earth. Reality: the exact opposite. How racial groups rate each other. Mean ratings of whites. And this is white respondents. Mean ratings of whites, just barely ahead. Mean ratings of blacks, pretty far back. Mean ratings of Hispanic, a little bit behind the whites. Mean ratings of Asians. Well, I don't know why Asians are behind the Hispanics. And then, and I don't know what they mean by this exactly, rating in what sense. But the Hispanics think they're best. This is what Jesse always says. Asians think they're best. Blacks think they're best. Or the Chinese think the Chinese is best. And they look down on the Indonesians and Filipinos and stuff. But the blacks put themselves first, and Hispanics, and then Asians, and then whites way back here. Say the blacks are the most racist.
Well, you know why the blacks put themselves first, right?
Because they're self-centered, and they're encouraged to. People encourage them to do that, right?
No, they were obviously the first people on this earth, right, Hake?
Oh yeah, definitely. They were the first to invent peanut butter and stoplights, which isn't the real truth. But anyway.
They were the original Israelites.
Yeah, crazy. What a mess.
Oh, my God. All right, well, I actually got to run it here in a second. I'll try to call in. I have another question for you.
Okay.
I might call in on tomorrow, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, you're great. Feel free, man.
Yeah, I don't want to take too much of your time.
Cool. It's good to hear from you.
Yeah, same to you. Have a good day now.
All right. Take care. Hayden in Texas. Speaking of William, I got to get to William in California. Joel Friday is going to be coming up soon. William, thank you for calling and holding there, man. What's up?
Always appreciate it. Thank you for taking my call, James.
Yeah, definitely.
I really like Hayden. He's always had great calls. I love listening to the guy. Shout out to him.
He has good energy.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
I don't know. You were talking about talking to somebody from Guatemala.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's more of resentment than anything. You tell the truth and people get offended. You're in Guatemala, caller, the place that has corrupt police, bad health care, bad economy, and a developing country. And it sounds like you don't.
Is it developing? People say developing country, but it's not really developing if it has.
No.
If it's not going in the right direction.
You have to look at the meaning of developing country.
Basically, third world or second.
Yeah. You know, the things that facing out there are the very reason that. Okay, he basically is calling you not to spread the message because the message is that Trump is going to come back and he's going to stop the floodgates. Those people down there are escaping horrible, violent crime. Kidnapping is common. You must protect yourself at all times and protect your belongings. ATM tampering.
Oh yeah.
You have to avoid buses
and they're bringing that crime up here too.
And the message that we're talking about here closes the floodgates. of them coming up here. Basically,
Yeah.
he don't want to hear that. And about the thing about he was talking about the blacks and the brainwashing. You have to understand when you say what you're saying. It just takes a person with some kind of an IQ to understand what you're saying. Is that I know I'm qualified because I grew up in the Bay Area and I watched in the 1960s as a little kid hippies who were protesting Vietnam. They turned into the politicians of today and the professors at UC Berkeley. I witnessed Black Panther Party with the breakfast kitchens.
Right.
I witnessed the Guyana massacre with the 700 black people that were killed under Jim Jones. I witnessed a lot of different things.
Wait, what? Jim Jones and the Guyana massacre, is that the same thing?
In Jonestown, yeah, Jonestown, Guyana.
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
Jonestown was in Guyana?
Not Georgetown in Washington, D.C. Jonestown was a little village that this preacher in San Francisco got all the black people that own these beautiful Victorian mansions signed over their property to him. And he has molested everybody, men and women and children. And they all end up drinking that Kool-Aid and killing themselves.
And so they moved to Guyana
for a better life. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was basically it was a camp in the jungle. Only 3 people escaped.
And allegedly he M-worded many of them.
Well, they
men and
actually
women.
drink this cocktail with cyanide.
Yeah, Kool-Aid and did it have Kool-Aid in it? Because that's where drank the Kool-Aid means.
Yes.
Right?
So
that came from that?
I've seen these things. Yes, it came from that. I've seen these things as growing up as a kid and a teenager. Now, when you say blacks are, he's not understanding what you're saying.
Right.
You know?
He's putting words in my mouth. He's saying that I'm
then,
implying something that I'm not implying.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And you're touching on things that are touchy towards people.
Right.
And the like I said, the Black Panther thing, Angela Davis, Bobby Seale, Huey Newton, all these people were in the 60s and they were in college and they were protesting.
Right.
It's like the kids these days think that protesting is cool, but it's really not, because what you're going to end up doing is going to later on mess your life up and not be able to get that federal job, and you're gonna mess your name up for life. And blacks back then were brainwashed into this black power thing. I happen to have a father that didn't allow me to stop at these breakfast kitchens and Nation of Islam places.
Right on.
And no, you're not. You're going to go straight to school and come home.
Yeah.
I just happened to have a father that stepped in when it was time for him to correct me. He didn't allow my mother to get involved. I just happened to be one person. I can't say that all black people experience that. I can't say that.
I know.
Because I live in a good neighborhood. I'm going to sit there and say blacks are doing okay. That's not fair, because I'm just one person, James.
Right.
Okay. And speaking on like protesting, I understand they had a few of them this weekend. One, we had the Outside Lands concert with about 150 bands at the Golden Gate Park at the beach. And they had another protest on the Golden Gate Bridge where they chained the cars to the rails and hooked them all together. And
oh, man.
I knew this was going to happen. Smash and grab and sideshows and blocking the bridge. They have just announced they're going to start bringing federal charges to these people. Now, do you see how you mess your life up with protests?
Yeah, you really do.
You put your name in the mud,
you
know, and you end up not being able to do nothing in life, but have a boys club, what do you call it, boys club job or a community activist job. That's how you end up that way.
Yeah. No, it's.
And then we had something else.
And people, and you think in your mind and in some other fellow protesters' minds, you think that you're fighting for you're fighting for good, you're fighting for the right cause, and you sacrificed and suffered for the cause.
So you think.
But it's all in your imagination. It's all ego.
It's all your imagination, right? You know, so you think. I used to wonder, like some of these black guys in the late 70s, you know, they would walk around with army jackets, with bald heads and dark sunglasses. They were militants. They were for the cause. They were down. Well, that's all they could be able to do for the rest of their life, because they're advocating something that's not going to work.
Yeah. Interesting, man.
You know, And speaking of protests, understand Ferguson, something happened out there again.
Oh, really?
A police officer was severely injured. He was black. And they had the 10-year anniversary of this phony Michael Brown thing.
A police officer still fighting for his life after a brain injury during Ferguson protests. So reports Fox 2 News 15 hours ago.
Property,
fighting for his life.
Right. Now,
after a Michael Brown protest from 10 years ago. Mike Brown, that's right. And it was August, I think, or July, August. And Mike Brown.
Right.
Oh man, that's evil.
Weren't we just saying you're making a bad name for yourself and you're messing your life up?
Yeah.
See?
And you're messing other people's lives up.
Correct. And they damage property. And guess what? Guess what two people weren't there? The two most
Mike Brown and Darren Wilson?
No, Darren's not going near that.
Good for him.
The two most important people to Michael Brown, they were not there. That's his parents, his mother and father.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because they got a settlement for $3 million apiece. You think that they're not even in that neighborhood?
That is so wild. That is so ridiculous. They raise a young man, Michael Brown, poorly, and they get paid for it. And then now all this chaos and destruction. And you can't really blame them for it because those evil people were, these evil people are just using the story in order to do evil. Police officer still fighting for his life after a brain injury during the Ferguson protest.
That is correct.
What a mess. Travis Brown fighting for his life.
Look at Angela Davis, Bobby Seale of the head of the Black Panthers, and Angela Davis. Angela Davis is working for University of Santa Cruz, something like that, and Bobby Seale ended up retiring from this Alameda County, which is Oakland. Okay, you end up working for the very agencies and organizations that you claim oppressed you.
Wow.
See?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Okay. So I'm going to let you go. I don't want to take too much of your time up and everything. And like we were saying the other day, if what you are representing is so important, why do you have to promote it? Look what happened to the Olympics. The woke Olympics did not work.
Yeah.
It did not work. The facilities, the dorms were nasty. They said they ran out of eggs. And eggs is like a number one food for as far as athletes in their diet. They were running out of food. They had no eggs. They had a vegan diet. There were hardly no world records broken. They had that thing with the gymnast. The woke Olympics didn't work, and didn't look at the open ceremonies. It did not work. It's a mess.
Thank you, William. I appreciate it. It's good to hear from you, man.
You too, man. Take care.
All right. Bye. Woo. Let me just tell you guys this story that William mentioned. Spoiler alert. Shout out to Spoiler alert. He posted it in the YouTube chat. Police officer still fighting for his life after brain injury during Ferguson protest. A community holds its breath as officer. This is a report from the 11th yesterday, updated today, 12th, Monday. A community holds its breath as officer Travis Brown continues to fight for his life after suffering a brain injury this past Friday, during a protest outside the Ferguson Police Department. The alleged confrontation that left Officer Brown gravely injured began as a peaceful demonstration marking 10 years since the death of Michael Brown. Michael Brown, the gentle giant who charged, allegedly, according to all the reports, including from Obama's Attorney General, charged at Officer Darren Wilson, who had to shoot him in self-defense. Because he was walking in the middle of the road with allegedly stolen Swisher Sweets, acting like he owned the place, and he got in a fight and he punched Darren Wilson, and it was not hands up, don't shoot, but they lied about it, because people do lie, including blacks, shamelessly, all too commonly. We know there's been some progress, and we obviously are happy about the progress. Stupid. Oh, unless you're talking about... No, I think that they're talking about the police community situation. Officer Brown, who joined the police department this January, also served on the frontline protests in 2014 when he was part of St. Louis County Police Department. Ferguson Police Department since 2014 has been a punching bag for this community. The police department back in 2014, we don't even have those police officers here anymore. So what are you protesting? And the police and Darren Wilson did nothing wrong. It was all Mike Brown's fault. He brought that on himself and his parents' fault. And they got paid. What a mess. So evil. What a sick world. Okay. Thank you, William, for that tip. I would like to get to Jaime in Minnesota. I was talking about Tim Walz, and Jaime has been on hold forever about Tim Walz. What's up, Jaime? How you doing, man?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you.
That's good. Hey, what's wrong with the Guatemalans?
I don't know. I've known some Guatemalans in my life. I know one who was mixed, Guatemalan and Mexican. I know one Guatemalan who tried to come into my house when I was a kid. Or we're pretty sure he was Guatemalan because their Mexican neighbor next door interviewed him about Mexican food and stuff. And this neighbor across the street was like, I think he's not Mexican. I think he's Guatemalan. He just doesn't want to be deported to Guatemala because that's further from the border than it is if he's just deported to Mexico. Then he can come back much quicker. But anyway, that's my experience with Guatemalans.
Well, fun fact about those South American countries is the drugs that they use aren't the good drugs like cocaine and that kind of stuff. They have to use inhalants, spray paint, gasoline.
Oh,
diesel.
terrible.
They huff it. But that fella sounded drunk or high or something.
He was high on his ego. I disavow that. I don't think it was necessarily... He didn't sound drunk or high except on his ego, on this this phony preacher stuff.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, this phony brotherhood. He even may have meant well. It's just that he's in his imagination about what I'm saying and what I'm implying. He doesn't have logic. Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, this Tim Walz fella, I've been listening to some of his rallies and that they go to.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of thinking this is going to be one of the good election years. I was pretty disappointed in 2020 with Biden and Trump going at it. It was very sad.
But, it was?
Yeah. And I watched some of Walz's congressional speeches that he gives, or not congressional, but he was a representative.
Yeah.
And some of the things that he'd say in front of the House of Representatives, he's a competent guy. That's good.
Wait, you're saying that Tim Walz?
Yeah, like the way that he speaks.
Yeah.
He's a competent speaker.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
And this ought to give the Trump-Vance team a run for their money, to see what they can do.
Right.
Well, what I'm saying is it's not going to be a boring fight, a boring, election.
I see. Yeah, Tim Walz is going to make it more entertaining. I like that. And you know what? Even Biden was kind of entertaining. I don't know. I think that I think they're all somewhat entertaining.
Right.
Including Kamala, but she's dull on some level, but she's also, also sort of entertaining.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I do find Tim Walz an interesting person. He's evil. He's a phony. He's a mama. But I find him somewhat interesting.
He's got a limp wrist. I don't know if you've seen that.
I haven't noticed that. That's funny.
Yeah, he's limp-wristed.
Terrible.
But I saw an interview with Jesse the Bodied Ventura. And he
Yep.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And he backs up this Walz guy.
Oh.
He doesn't like that Vance fella mocks this guy's Army record or National Guard record.
Oh, really? Because
Yeah,
but JD Vance is not the only one. Everybody's attacking this guy's military record because it sounds like some people say that he called himself something and acted like he was this war hero when he actually quit in order not to have to go to the war, which I don't blame him. I don't want to go to war. I was just in it to get to my politician chops so that I could say something and become more of a politician, more of an honorable politician.
Yeah, and an interview that Vance did with somebody was saying that he's not mocking, Vance isn't mocking his military record, but he's mocking or showing that he's lied about it.
Right, allegedly. And I don't know if he lied or not. I think the Harris campaign even admitted, the Kamala Harris campaign, admitted that he misspoke.
Right, and Vance, when he was doing that interview, the interviewer said he misspoke, and then the Vance guy says, misspoke to me means lying.
It could be totally, because a lot of times people lie and then they say, oh, I misspoke.
That's what he said?
Yeah.
And that's his opinion? I'm just saying.
Right. No, and it could be that he was just lying. He could straight up have lied or left out some key facts.
Jesse Ventura, he had asked a question that I thought was really interesting. Why were the National Guard deployed to Iraq?
Yeah,
that's the a bigger question. And Jesse he gave the answer about the Bush administration and that stuff, and not wanting to do a draft.
Oh,
and that's why
wow!
He did it. But also Jesse did make the point that Tim Walz was E9, whatever that is. I'm not familiar, but allegedly it's the highest ranking.
Okay.
And that Walz wouldn't have even had to care or shoot anybody if he had gone over there.
Oh, even if he had gone over there, he wouldn't have been in any danger because he was an officer or something like that, a master sergeant or a something master sergeant, not quite full blown master sergeant or whatever.
He was somebody that wasn't going to have to do anything.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Not that they don't all do something, but
right.
That's another point.
He wouldn't have been in danger. That's interesting. It is. I feel like some of it is sort of splitting hairs.
Yeah.
And even this story that you heard my coverage of the student being interviewed about him. The student said, "Oh, he's a veteran." Whoa. But he wasn't like a war veteran necessarily. He's just a guy who's in the military and is a coach, and he plays tough. and that's what politicians do. Like they go into different things to knock down these things that look good on your resume.
Yep.
And that totally could be all it is. I don't know what type of person this Tim Walz guy is, other than that he's a mama. I know he's a mama.
Big time.
Yeah.
And I'm not vouching for the guy.
Me neither.
I don't like him.
And I'm not.
Like him.
Yeah. I get where you're coming from.
You got to have the truth. And the truth
is, exactly. It's
what Jesse Ventura said. That's the truth.
It might be, or it might be that might be pertinent facts that add to the context of the truth. Definitely.
Thank you, yes.
Yeah.
Instead of railing it on somebody for no good reason, have a good reason. Don't go off track.
Right. You don't want to be like Maze. Maze will call in and say something. Oh, Project 2025. And she doesn't have a clue, really, what it really means. And I'm picking on her, but it's something that everybody, especially a lot of blacks, will fall into. They'll just say something that's not even, they don't even really know what they're talking about. So I agree with you. We don't want to pounce on Tim Walz over something, and we're not even being accurate.
Yeah, we're missing the big picture, because that guy helped to change the Minnesota flag from a beautiful blue with a white man farming in the center emblem to two blue fields, one dark blue, one light blue, and an 8-point star. 8-point white star in the middle.
That's terrible.
And if you're curious what that has to do with anything, the Somali flag is a blue flag with a 5-point star in the middle.
That's so interesting, man. Okay, so the flag of Minnesota, I'm showing it for the people here. Oh, man. Okay, and
Isn't that interesting?
the Fallen State producer showed this to me. Okay, so we're looking at a new Minnesota flag, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-point flag, and it looks like all sort of modern, almost African or something. And where's the Somali flag? Is this? No. And you can see the more traditional looking flag. That's what it used to be. Did you say Somali flag?
Yeah, Somali. Yeah, Somali.
Let's see if I can type Somalian flag, and it has a little 5-point star, just like what you said, and it has this similar color blue. Somali flag, and then look. That is.
What's up with that?
It's sort of UN, EU looking flag. What was the problem with this beautiful old flag that it used to be?
Not a darn thing.
The old flag was this? Something like that? Yeah, this one.
Is a white man farming?
Yeah. And it has a little American engine on his horsey. La Toile du Nord, 1819, 1893, and it has a nice seal, Minnesota. It's a beautiful flag, kind of. It looks like a state flag. You know, wow.
So
what a
these
mess.
are the things that, should really be pointed out of what kind of changes this vice president will bring. And they say that the vice president doesn't do much, but he does.
Yeah, he can.
This guy's been in Congress for a very long time as a representative of Minnesota. He knows people.
Yeah.
He went over to the Washington, D.C. He knows people.
Yeah. Interesting.
But one other interesting thing is that after he graduated college, he went to a teaching abroad. So he was a teacher out abroad in China.
Oh, yeah. He's all into the Chinese culture and stuff. What a mess.
So,
it's worse than just a white man into Chinese culture. It's Chinese communism and potential problems. Is that what you're suggesting, possibly?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, who knows?
He's got some bad ideas from over there. But also this, he's a Catholic. And,
really?
He's a bleeding heart Catholic. That's bad.
One of the liberal ones. Bad. That's not good.
Yeah, we need more statesmen.
Indeed.
Catholics.
Great call, Jaime, Minnesota.
Yeah, sure. Hey, have a good rest of your day. Thanks.
You as well. Thank you. Take care. Guys, Joel Friday TV is coming up next. His thing is going to be, I was just looking at it. Did Trump say he's not a Christian? AI? Interesting. Check it out. Joel Friday TV on YouTube and Instagram. I don't know if I have time to read Super Chats. Yeah, Mum said, I appreciate your work. Good job. Thank you, sir. Or ma'am. Let me double check on Rumble. The Z one. And Carver and Britt. Britt bought 5 coffees saying, keep it up. Keep it wool. Thank you, Britt, for your 5 coffees. Carver bought a coffee. I want to give a shout out to our new snake GALAHAD X, whose call brought attention to a very important issue. Our previous awesome snake caller, Joe, has been replaced by a low-wage LatinX immigrant. We need to save our black snake jobs. Indeed. Joe, there's room for more snakes, Carver. I think there's plenty of coffees to go. I'm spitting. There's plenty of coffees to go around. The Z one bought 3 coffees, and it's very, these are very long. That's a very long coffee, so I don't have time to read it, man. Shout out to the D Live crew. Potleaf, thanks for having your 11-month sub-streak. That's cool. Let's enjoy Vroom if I have enough time. This is, Lord have mercy. Let me show this. Oh, okay. That works. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. The Hake report. Lord have mercy. You know what? Let's do mental destruction. Right? Mental destruction. Here we go, guys. Adios, America. What? Oh, sorry, guys. That's so loud. Can you... Let me see if I... Winged, I fall. Christian. Winged I Fall by Mental Destruction. So good. Sorry, kids. Don't be scared, kids. And ladies. If you're still here. What the HE double toothpicks is this? Hake, this is completely unnecessary. Well, thank you guys for bearing with me through that, mildly interest in music. I worry about Hake sometimes. This is not Christian Hake. Well, thank you guys. I gotta run. Joel Friday TV coming up next. Adios, America. Peace in the Middle East, or at least in your hearts. Bye.